We have reached NFL Week 9. There are 10 games I'm really excited to watch. Basically, every game this weekend in the NFL is really good. There's like three I'm not talking about, but man, if you want storylines, this weekend has so many great storylines in the NFL. Number one is this: the Browns at the Bengals, the Battle of Ohio. Likely the Cleveland Browns will be playing without Odell Beckham Jr. And remember, Browns, Bengals had two great games last year as well. Baker Mayfield versus Joe Burrow. I think the Browns lose this game. I think Cincy, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, I think they win this football game, but it's always been interesting between these two teams, and especially in recent years, last year with Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield, I think we're in for a fun, interesting battle that the Bengals win. Game number 2, the Texans at the Dolphins. Both teams are 1-7. These two teams, I think, were trying to figure out a trade for like the last couple weeks. The Dolphins were heavily pursuing Deshaun Watson, and I don't know. I want to watch Tua, the Dolphins' young quarterback. He's a second-year quarterback. There's been news for weeks and weeks and weeks that Miami's been trying to replace him with Deshaun Watson. That didn't work, and so now that he's free to just, okay, I'm not getting replaced. I'm at least here for the rest of this year. Does he play more free? Does he play better? I don't know. I hate the play calling. I hate the play design in Miami with their offense, but I'm really still interested to see how does Tua play against Houston this weekend. Game number 3, the Falcons at the New Orleans Saints. The reason to watch this game and keep your eye on this game is that the New Orleans Saints lost their starting quarterback, Jameis Winston, last weekend. He tore his ACL. And so this weekend, just the quarterback battle, the quarterback room and situation in general is kind of up in the air with New Orleans. And do they play Trevor Siemian? Do they play Taysom Hill? How does whatever quarterback they play do? And what happens there? Keep your eye on the quarterback situation between the Falcons and the Saints. What happens with New Orleans and their quarterback? Number 4, the Raiders at the Giants. The Raiders have been through a lot, man. They lost their head coach. They had a star receiver, Henry Ruggs, get in a car accident and get a DUI and kill someone in that accident. It's a fatal car accident. So he's in jail. And how do you respond to that? Like, what happens here? I would imagine that this is too much to overcome. I can't imagine a world where the Raiders don't fold just because the emotional, losing your head coach and losing a player that way, I think the emotion is going to be too hard. I don't expect, the Raiders are 5-2 right now. They're near the top of the AFC standings. I don't think that's going to stand, but we'll learn a lot with how they respond this weekend on the road against New York. Number 5, you have the Patriots at the Panthers. First of all, can the Patriots, they're 4-4 now, can they make a playoff push? They are trying to make the wild card, basically. The Bills are too far ahead, but if the Patriots, who are 4-4, can go on a run here, they have a real legitimate shot to make it into the AFC wild card, this final 7th spot there. And then it's also Stephon Gilmore, a stud corner for the Panthers, playing against his old team. He was once a defensive player of the year. Literally, I think 2019 is when he won it. So 2 years ago now? 2 years ago, this guy was defensive player of the year. This year, the Patriots traded him away for almost nothing to Carolina. And so it's Stephon Gilmore playing against his former team, I would think wanting revenge on them, not handling his injury the way he wanted and not wanting to keep him, just getting rid of him. I would be like, hey, I want revenge against my old team. Also, it's Sam Darnold, the Panthers' young quarterback, against Bill Belichick. Sam Darnold played for the Jets for a couple of years, since 2018. This is his first year in Carolina. So from 2018, 2019, and 2020, he played against Bill Belichick twice a year, every year. In fact, he was the coach that made him, give that quote, "I'm seeing ghosts." He was playing against the Patriots in that game. So it's Sam Darnold once again against his least favorite coach to play against, Bill Belichick, because he disguises defenses. He's hard to play against. And I'm really interested to see how does Sam Darnold do against Belichick's defense. Game number 6, the Vikings at the Ravens. Man, is Minnesota going to lose again? They lost on Sunday Night Football to Cooper Rush, the Dallas Cowboys backup quarterback. It's a painful, brutal, ugly, embarrassing loss. And I think they're 3-5 now. I believe that's accurate. And man, to go 3-6, they might even fire the coach if that happens. It's really, really bad right now in Minnesota. And I think part of the problem, we'll get into it more and ask Zach later down the road, but part of the problem with the Vikings is not only that they're making mistakes, they're not very talented, the quarterback's very hit or miss, but also like the organization as a whole is just not very aggressive. They didn't make any moves at the trade deadline. They were just very, very disappointing. And I don't know. I think Minnesota's going to lose this game. And they're in bad shape if they lose this game. And their record's terrible. The year hasn't gone well. The Kirk Cousins experiment will have failed completely. I'll probably make a video about that. And it's just sad. I mean, Minnesota's in bad shape right now. And they probably are going to lose again on the road at Baltimore. Game number 7, the Packers at Kansas City against the Chiefs. Jordan Love is starting this game for the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers got COVID. He's out. More drama there than I just mentioned, but I'm not going to get into it. I don't even care about all that. I'm like, I love football, not vaccination stuff. I kind of wonder, was Kansas City handed a gift? Like Kansas City, the Chiefs had a tough schedule to finish out the year. And to kind of be handed a great scenario against a team that is at the top of their division, a really good playoff team, the Packers, I mean, this might be the break the Chiefs need to help them get from 8-8 or 8-9 to 9-8 and maybe make a playoff push. I mean, this is a huge advantage for Kansas City. And then what if Jordan Love plays great? I mean, that's another thing we haven't thought about is no one really knows what to expect from Jordan Love. He's presumably the future franchise quarterback in Green Bay. And I'm really curious, like, how does he play in this game? It's a fun opportunity to evaluate him and his progress as an NFL quarterback. Number 8, the Cardinals at the 49ers. Here's the story. Kyler Murray, the Arizona quarterback, has not practiced all week, and he's questionable. He may or may not play. That's a huge deal. The Cardinals are 7-1 right now. They need Kyler Murray to play in this game, and if he doesn't, that'd be a big, big blow to their season and to their record. I would imagine they lose without him. Number 9, the 6-2 Tennessee Titans play on the road at the 7-1 LA Rams. It's Sunday Night Football. Here's the story. Like it's first of all, on paper, it's a great matchup of two really good football teams. But I am concerned because the Titans' passing game without Derrick Henry is a big, big question mark. Derrick Henry, the star running back for Tennessee, is out. He got hurt. He might be out for the rest of the year. How does the Tennessee passing game do without play action from Derrick Henry? Like, you have Adrian Peterson, that's fine, but that's not the same. And I just wonder, can the Tennessee Titans win throwing the football against the LA Rams? And maybe Adrian Peterson has like 200 yards rushing, and I'm just totally wrong. I don't know, but all the pressure's on Tennessee here. The Rams, I think, are going to win this game. And the question is, how do the Titans play? Like, what happens here? How does their offense play? And however if the Titans lose by 3 points and they throw the ball really well and they challenge the Rams, then I'll go, okay, they're probably going to be fine the rest of the year. But if they have a bad performance and they can't throw the ball and they get stifled in the running game, and that's a big problem that keep your eye on how Tennessee plays this week. And that could be a canary in the coal mine for how the rest of the year is going to go for Tennessee. And finally, game number 10, the Bears at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm only talking about this because it's Monday Night Football. So it's going to be a national televised game. We'll talk about it. It'll be fun. Like, for sure, I'll watch it and break it down. But, it's like the second to last Monday Night Football game. They play later in the year, the Steelers do, against the Browns. So it's the second to last game likely Big Ben will ever play on Monday night. That's potentially interesting. Unless I guess there's a playoff game, I think, this year in Monday Night Football too. So maybe he gets that. That's a question for another day. But the real thing to watch for in this game is the Bears rookie quarterback, Justin Fields. I love this guy. I think that Broncos fans are so in denial. I keep saying Denver should have drafted him. And Denver fans like, oh, he's having a bad year. Like, no, he's a rookie quarterback. He's not perfect, but I'm really excited to watch him play against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And his ability to run around and extend plays is like no other. He had a great run last weekend where on fourth down, he made a big play and ran for a touchdown that you did not expect. And so Monday night, the storyline here is going to be getting an opportunity for the national audience to see Justin Fields against the Steelers as a storyline here on Monday night football.